During the design phase, one of our goals was to minimize cable management. SUB2r camera requires a single cable for both data transfer and power consumption. However, in some cases, there may be a need for an additional auxiliary power supply. First, let's review the minimum requirements for the operating system and computer hardware. Current implementation supports Windows 10. Camera may work on other modern UVC 1.5 compliant operating systems, including Mac and various Linux distributions as a regular USB camera, but SUB2r Control Center will not be installed. Minimum required USB port is 3.0 and higher, including Type A and Type C. Camera's built-in USB port is Type C. Make sure that the host port is both charging power and data. SUB2r camera is shipped with USB Type A cable. This cable is A to C connector. Use of other cables may yield varied results. SUB2r camera needs 3.7 gigabit per second for video transfer for 4K at 30 fps, 1.85 gigabit per second for 1080p at 60 fps, and the host should be able to provide 5 volts up to 3 amps to adequately feed the camera's onboard processor. Not all computers manufacturers adhere to the USB specifications when it comes to power supply. For those scenarios, use auxiliary power. Use SUB2r certified power supply which provides 5 volts and 3 amps of current included with the camera. If some USB ports on the computer are not capable of fulfilling the minimum power requirements, try another port or self-powered external USB 3 plus hub. Otherwise, use of auxiliary power is the only option. LED indicator on the front panel of the camera can provide some diagnostics. If the LED does not turn white, USB port does not supply enough power to satisfy the minimum requirements. If the LED is dim or flickering, power supplied by the USB port is insufficient. If the LED turns white but after 5 seconds does not turn green, there is an insufficient power to run the main processor. If the LED light turns from white to green but picture freezes in a few seconds, this means that either the USB port does not have enough power to sustain constant supply, or that it is internally shared with some other ports that have devices already connected to them. In our testing, we have come across examples of motherboards where supposedly an isolated USB port was indeed shared with other and therefore limited data throughput and power allowance. SUB2r camera streams a lot of data at a high rate, and to process this much information, it needs a reasonably powerful computer. We recommend gaming or equivalent class of PC. Note about third-party plug-in devices. SUB2r camera supports SFP Plus modules and other third-party hardware. Those modules and additional hardware can draw more energy, which will require greater heat dissipation that cannot be managed passively. Therefore, an active fan has been incorporated into the design to manage an additional heat. The built-in fan will automatically turn on once SFP Plus module is plugged in. It will turn also on when the camera senses that its core temperature has reached a level when it needs additional cooling. The fan on and off function can be manually controlled by the user in the SUB2r Control Center. However, in the scenarios above, the system will override the manual settings.